Ziggity Zig talking his way out of silver game number 16. And oh my god, what is going on there? So, pretty much right off the bat, ooh, look at my cool ass EPM. Game between myself up here in the top corner, the top left of Ohana LE and Matt Protoss down here. Matt, we all like Matt. He's got hair and he wears a shirt. Never mind. So, it's a PvP, but this was a weird PvP. Oh, by the way, the reason that we're doing the THWOS 16 as not the recast of the live game is because the live game lasted approximately 12 seconds. We won't really talk about that. We can talk about that in the comments from the day before if you really want to, but god, who would want to do that? So this is a game that I played just after recording some Lime Not 11 with that guy Griff, youtube.com/Lime Not 11, and so he came down the hall because the videos were rendering, and he says, "Oh, I'll come watch." So the first thing he says is, "Why'd you put that pylon there?" And I said, "Well, I was gonna go put it at the top of the ramp, but I knew you'd yell at me." So basically, I had Griff in my head, just out of the, just talking in the side of my ears, not the top of my ears, the entire part of this game, and I want to say that it threw me off, but at the same time, I thought I was doing kind of well for the first little bit, and then the problem is that at one point he said, "Oh, you know what? You should just." He said, "Yeah, it's PvP. Go in and scout. And if you don't see a fast expand, then you should go 4 gate and or wait, what was it? If you see a fast expand, 4 gate. If you don't see a fast expand." To be honest, I can't remember what he said. He had some sort of special tactics in his suggestion, and then he kept talking about hiding a pro or not a pro, but hiding a pylon in there. So meantime, I'm trying to get a couple of things going back here. We've got my gateway on its way. So Matt is coming to bring down a forward pylon. Now this is the interesting thing where he doesn't quite see me. He does see my probe there just for a second, but he's obviously not really looking at that. I then get ready to sneaky my way back up, which I think I do. Gateway coming in. I've got my gas going. Trying to get my cyber core down, so Matt's cyber core is a little bit ahead of me, but watch this, sneaky, he does not see what's going on here. Still doesn't see what's going on here. Still doesn't see, does not know what I've done. I have placed a pylon in his base, and then I leave, so he finally sees me leaving his base. There is my pylon. Look at that. I have a sneaky pylon. Now the problem there, he's now started warp gate. In this case, I'm going to assume Matt is a male because I suppose unless you're a girl and you don't want to be quite so abused and or what's the word? Harassed. There it is. Then you can just go as a guy's name. You can call yourself Dylan, and that way dudes won't hit on you all the time saying, "Oh my god, a girl, let's cyber." Still on 1 gas myself. Matt is moving up to 2 gas. He's got his other gateway there. So I think we seem to both be doing the exact same build, but his is going a bit better than mine. So at this point, Griff is saying things like, "Oh, and you got another 150. Make another gateway." And I'm like, "But I thought you were supposed to, make 3 gateways all at the one time." But he likes to pump out an additional unit. So I've got a probe on this forward Zelnaga tower. And the other thing is I rallied my gateways to go down to this Zelnaga tower, which I thought was a pretty clever idea. I'm a little bit behind in army supply, but so here come these two. I do see it, and I try to get my probie out of there, but do I get him out? I do. Look at that. And I bring these down, and I'm about to bring them behind, but then Griff says, "No, take them back, take them back." I'm like, "Take them back where?" Because I didn't manage to get any other pylon than that. And check it out, Matt still hasn't noticed that. So he says, "No, bring him back, bring him back." And so I gotta bring back all my units again, even though I'm now technically 4-gating. I'm now just done. Got my 4th one warping in right now. I have a ridiculous amount of units and things. So now I want to take this tower. Matt's almost got this one. Problem is, I don't think he's actually using it. Now, okay, yeah, check out that army supply now. I don't quite have that one. How's the worker supply? Matt is definitely ahead in there because Look at that average APM. The APM's up pretty high. My EPM is not good either. So I come down and take out a little bit of this. And look at this. At this point, Griff says, yeah, go get him. And I retreat a little bit. He says, no, you totally have that. But I move back, and then I listen to him finally, and then I say, oh, I do have him? Okay, I'm going to go in and have him. And then I go in, and he says, yeah, Guardian Shield, and you got that. And then he says, okay, now you don't have it, because he totally warped in more. And now you're in trouble. Which I kind of am. But while I was in trouble, what I did was I warped in a bunch of Zealots, or as many as I could, because I think I kept pylon blocking myself. And then I tried to get these guys down here as soon as possible, and I want to find, really quickly, I need to learn this one, units lost. L. L is the one that I want. No, that's not quite the one I want. I want units killed. Control R. So Control R is what I want. Control R. Workers killed. Let's see that go. 8. Meanwhile, this huge army is coming up here, and I'm in a little bit of trouble with my forward business, but 17, 18 workers killed, 19 workers killed. Now, the problem down here is that I did not do a good enough job destroying this base. I think I eventually moved out, and I somehow held this up here. So let's have a look at this up here. I did try to focus my Zealots on a few different units down there. But look at this. I'm ridiculously outnumbered up here. 26-18. He's dragged that in. How did... Whoa! How the Browns? I think I just had enough of these. So I sent my Zealots in to attack some of these. Ah, there's what happened. I moved in my probies. So the worker count, Matt is down to 8 workers. I am down to 24. So then I move back the probes. I don't know why he didn't continue in. Meanwhile, my Zealots are just going to town up here. Did not take down the Nexus. There's the problem. I kept trying to take out things like pylons. Neither of us are really getting much in the way of income at the moment. Production, I'm still trying to warp in a few things. So this was just the kind of thing where I was trying to multitask, but I wasn't doing that good of a job. They're trying to take this down. My Zealots are trying to take down the Cyber Core. They should be taking down the Nexus a bit better. Matt finally decides that he should run back here and do something about it. I should be warping in a few more units. And then, yeah, Griff reminds me that that's my pylon. I did not take out that base. He tells me I should have continued taking out those. But then I realize that there's more workers down here. Let's do that old Control R once more. But I don't quite have enough. And then this is where the trouble comes in, because Matt still has enough pylons to just laugh in my face. I'm not producing a thing right now. I have that many. Yeah, we each have 8 workers. But the only problem is I'm not actually doing anything about it because I forget to get back to work. So that's part of the issue there. You know, the army supply, I'm ahead in the army supply. Matt is doing pretty well. In the other form, so I was ahead, and I almost could have done it there, but again, there's the problem. Oh, wait a minute, EPM 30. Wait, yeah, because Matt's higher than me. That makes sense. We're at about the same, except I'm kind of click spamming. Meantime, I managed to take down 1 of his pylons, and then I meet up with his army, which turns into a bad scene. Because what I should have done was warp in up here. And I think I do in a few seconds. Oh man, but I should have won this game. This is annoying. So let's look at some mistakes that I've made so far. Not getting back to work fast enough. Let's check out the income tab. He's doing better than me because he got back on the worker supply kick. I did not. Look at that. I'm not making anything. I'm full of chrono boost. I don't have an expansion. Matt has an expansion. He's still trying to get his production units back up because he's not making any army. I'm making not quite enough army and not doing anything about it. I should be warping it up here and killing this again, which I'm not. So again, it comes down to multitasking is my biggest problem. I think at this point, Griff said, all right, yeah, run those guys down there, take down that Nexus, but pincer him from behind. Bring in this army. I did not bring in this army at the same time. Look at the size of that army. That could have finished him. That could have finished it, but I did not bring down that army at the same time. I need to remember what it is I'm doing. Did that not? Oh! Okay, I got the Cyber Core, which is cool. Now production is kind of silly, so yeah, Matt finally finds this. I finally make my way down here. Look at this. I do have the army supply, but watch this. Watch this. This is so great. This is just fantastic once I finally get to it. I wait for a few more units because I'm an idiot. Matt is still warping in some more stuff. He does not. He's waiting on his Cyber Core. I forget that I killed his Cyber Core. I honestly do. I totally forgot that I did that. And I'm almost, yeah, I'm supply capped again, so I just decided to move up. Here's where I A-move, and Griff yells at me for A-moving, because you're not supposed to A-move when you're 4-gating. I'm like, what? He says, yeah, 4-gate is all about micro. And at 13 minutes into the game that I've basically been losing because I can't micro, he tells me that this is only going to work if I micro, because look at that. That's pretty sexy right there. I'm not doing a thing. But what Matt is doing the stutter step that I have never figured out how to do. Which is a shame. So there I go, losing there. So Matt's Cyber Core does finish finally. He's got a new Cyber Core. And yeah, at that point, I've got nothing because I forgot to do anything. I forgot to make units. I was still only on one base. I was such a derp. Look at that. EPM was 28. APM was 40. I'm kind of pleased with that, but usually it's the other way around. I'd prefer it to be the other way around, but I think that's impossible. So that, yeah, just honestly, what am I doing? What am I doing? I'm getting flustered. I had Griff in my head. I was doing a build that I'm not used to. I don't normally like to 4-gate. Look at that. I didn't even rebuild my 4th gate. I was just on 3-gate and nothing. Meanwhile, Matt was also on 3-gate nothing. But Matt just kept it together. I need to figure out why that isn't showing me that. Anyway. Leave me a comment down below. Send me an email, ziggityzig@gmail.com, or you can follow me on Twitter. Hear more of these horrid tales of failure. Oh man, failing my way out of silver. I'm back into bronze. Stay tuned.